Hello and welcome to Chicken Bros. My name is David Heath.
And I feel sorry for them already.
For this will be a terrible price. And me and Noah are here on the beginning of Jim Carrey month to talk about Liar Liar.
Woo!
I'm kicking my ass, do you mind? Oh. So Liar Liar is one of many classic 90s Jim Carrey comedies that stars Jim Carrey, clearly.
The man at his peak.
Yep. He plays lawyer and father Fletcher Reed, who's, well, he's a liar, so lawyer, kind of synonymous. I actually love how this movie opened up with his kid. Like, what does your daddy do? He's a liar. A liar? You don't mean liar, do you? Well, he wears a suit and talks to the judge. Oh, you mean lawyer? And then he just shrugs.
And he's like, what's the difference?
It's like, yeah, what's the difference? Oh, and I think it's safe to say that Fletcher is kind of skewed or separate. What's the right word? Detached.
Divorced.
Detached from his family, kind of.
Well, yeah. He puts his job over his family, which is a common cliche in movies.
Yeah. And but every time he does get to see his son, they have the grandest of times.
I like the Dad! Maximilian!
Maximilian! Yeah, I love that. And then I love whenever he does the claw.
I have this pain in my arm.
Oh
No, it's the claw!
It's becoming the claw! I love when Max is like, do the claw to Mom, Dad. Uh-oh, found the claw's only weakness. Sub-zero temperatures! And, yeah, as Noah said, Fletcher and his wife, or ex-wife, I suppose, Audrey, were divorced some time ago. They said 2 years before the events of the movie, which means Max was 3 when they got divorced. Yeesh! But, yeah, they don't always agree either. Like, when Max says they're going to wrestling, she goes, Fletcher, and he goes, Audrey!
I don't approve you taking me into these violent outings.
Your boy is a warrior. He says something like that. That funny voice. Who better to train him in the ring than Randy Macho Man Savage? And then we meet I guess the stepfather, Jerry, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's Jerry. You remember? And he's not a bad dude. He's just
not Fletcher.
Exactly. He's like, he's so not me. Yes, that's one of his most better qualities.
So, are things serious? Semi-serious.
You guys aren't, you know.
Oh, Jim.
And so we see that Fletcher is very prone to lying even outside the court because just about everybody he passes in his office, he tells blatant lies to.
Yeah.
Like there's this woman who got this very bizarre haircut, and he's like, hey, did you do with your hair? Trying to hold back his laughter. Be honest, if I passed by that, I'd probably react the same way he did. Whoa!
Yeah, whoa!
And it's Max's birthday coming up. He's gonna turn 5. And
ooh, that's a big number.
Yep. And he even forgot about it, and thank goodness for his secretary Greta, because she got him the present. And she's going through the whole checklist of people that called, and he's like telling absolute blatant lies to even his own mother. Like, no, some kind of disease. What's going around? Bird flu. Good one.
Good one.
And of course, being a lawyer, his job is important, and his job catches up with him, and him and Max don't end up going to wrestling, which is hard. It sucks seeing the sadness in that poor little kid's face.
You gotta give props to the actor, dude. Like, that kid fucking nailed it.
He did. And then the next morning it's his birthday, and then he opens a present, and it turns out to be baseball stuff. And he's like, wait, hang on, I don't remember the baseball players' names, but I remember he looked at his dad and said, you can be Jose Canseco.
Yeah. Last night I bought you a present, but then I accidentally swallowed it.
It's
Dad,
like,
it's in your belly. Stop,
stop,
buddy.
buddy. I hope it's not partially digested. Look out! What is it? It's a surprise. Okay, it's a
Open it
permanent.
already, would
Just
you?
open it.
Baseball stuff.
He tells,
Putting a Dodgers cap. You.
yeah, Dodgers. I'm not a baseball guy. That's all Noah.
Oh yeah.
And he tells Max that he'll be home for his birthday party, which is later that day. And of course, he's getting in the middle of a case, and I don't know what her role. Like that woman, not the divorcee, but the woman.
Yeah, the woman,
the
like
brunette.
his boss, basically.
Yeah, is that what that was? Like his boss or something?
I don't know. She's partner, which is like because you know how not lawyer, like law offices have like the names of the lawyers.
Sure.
Those are the partners in question.
Oh, okay.
Like in the case of the only other lawyer I can think of, Matt Murdock, his law firm was Nelson and Murdoch. You know, him and his buddy Foggy Nelson are the
Oh
lawyers in
yeah.
question.
Okay. Hey, that makes all this more awkward because of what I was about to say is she sleeps with him.
Yeah,
And
because he thinks, as he later tells Audrey, I like it. I get in here squeal.
and it causes him not being able to go to Max's birthday party. Of course, he has to lie about it over the phone because he can't tell Audrey the truth.
Yeah.
He's like, work caught up with me. The boss is really riding me. And of course, that happens, and poor Max, he's sitting there with the birthday cake all
destroys
sad.
him.
It's just so sad. It's like, he said he was going to be here.
No,
And
children in pain, not my favorite thing to look at.
It's terrible. And Max blows out the candles and makes a wish. He says, I wish just for one day Dad couldn't tell a lie. Blows out the candles. And because this is a movie, the wish came true. And at the most inopportune time to find out, because what's-her-name says, that was incredible. Was it good for you too? And Fletcher goes, I've had better. And then she kicks him out. He's like, I've had better? And he wakes up the next morning. He's going through his morning routine, just going, I've had better. And it's so funny because he's starting to slowly realize he can't lie. He gets in an elevator with this woman whose puberty was very good to her, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, she's like
huge, and
she's like, he's like, you new in the building? Yeah, everything's so nice to me. Well, it's because you got big knockers.
I mean, your boobs are huge. I mean, I want to squeeze them.
I want to squeeze them.
I mean,
Mama.
And then she smacks him.
In the bloopers, he says, I was a boxer. I
bounce those
bounced
things like
those
Sugar
things
Ray
like
Leonard.
Leonard.
And he goes into court, getting ready to, testify and all that crap. And
yeah, testify against the wife of Chucky.
Yeah.
No, literally, that's who plays this chick.
Oh, was she the wife of Chucky?
Yeah,
oh,
Jennifer Tilly.
Oh, I never watched Chucky movies. Ugh.
Neither did I, but I know that was her.
Oh man, Chucky already was a hellspawn. You had to have a hellspawn of a wife. Anyway.
Well, I'll give Chucky this. Sorry, going off real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
He may be a murderer. His wife may be crazy, but his child is queer, and he was very supportive of that.
Okay. Oh man, I never thought we'd be able to find something positive about Chucky, but there you go. And,
well, apparently his franchise does really well, but we'll get whatever. That's neither here nor there.
And when he gets to the court, he meets the other attorney who's supporting the divorcee's husband, and she's like, "What's your case?" He goes, "Our case is simply this." And I wish they kept this in the movie, but in the bloopers he goes,
yeah, I
remember so
that.
Funny. It's every time he tries to lie, he can't manifest words.
It's just hilarious.
He either can't manifest words and just makes gibberish, or he blurts out the truth. And it's so funny. It's like, how are you doing today, Mr. Reed? I'm a little upset about a sexual accident I had last night. You're like, well, you're young. It'll happen more and more. How about we focus on the case?
Come on.
And he tries to like get the case continuance. Like, and he's like, "What's your reason, Mr. Reed?" He's like, "I can't lie." That's commendable, but I'm still waiting for a reason. And he just can't find any kind of reason to get this delayed.
Like, I feel like if this movie wasn't as comedic, like if it was tried to be more of a court drama, like an actual court drama, like what if he got a case that, you know, was actually a good case,
right?
Because he got stuck with the bitch who, like, just wanted the money, so her case was gonna be bullshit anyway,
right?
So if he gotten the other guy, if he gotten the husband, then maybe he would have been able to get through it all right.
Right, yeah. And that was what the whole thing was about. Apparently she committed adultery 7 times. And which,
you know, violates the prenuptial agreement.
Yeah. And he's testifying in support of her. And their original idea was to lie their way out of it. But since he can't lie, that's not going to work. And so I can't remember the reason for this, but the judge says we'll continue this case at 1:30 later today. And so he leaves trying to figure out what the hell to do. And he goes back to his office and he's like, okay, it's all about willpower. Come on. He picks up a blue pen. He's like, points it away from his face. He goes, red. Okay, now focus. Puts it in front of him. The color of this pen is...
Pen? The pen that I hold in my hands is
like one line, I can't say it. I'll write it. And he can't even write it. His hand will not allow him to write a lie.
Then goes all Evil Dead on his ass.
Yeah, freaking his own hand fights back and starts writing the word blue all over his face. His secretary sees him. He goes, the pen is blue. The pen is blue.
Damn, pen is blue.
So he's trying to figure out what to do, and he's like, you were going to pick up your son? Oh, I'm such a shit. He's like, what? So he calls his ex-wife. Like, no, like you weren't there for Max yesterday. Yeah, but this time it's different. Why? Now I'm telling the truth. And last night you weren't. No. What were you doing? Having sex. Well, I hope it was with someone very special. No, see, that's the thing. I don't even like her, but she's a partner, and I thought I could help my career by making her squeal. What's wrong with me? I'm getting what I deserve. When I saw it. And so, shit, we always do this. There's always something we forgot to mention. And something we forgot to mention was that Jerry's moving to Boston, and he asked Audrey to marry him and go with him, with Max. But she was apprehensive about it because of Fletcher, but now because of all this, she's like, me and Max are moving to Boston with Jerry. He's like, well, I thought it was semi-serious. Yeah, well, just got a violent shove into serious. It's like, you can't go out. I'll never see Max again. That's about the relationship you have with him. So he's trying to rush home and try to deal with this. And everybody he passes by, he's like, la 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 la. And then
then doesn't the lady that he tried to...
The partner, he had sex comes with, out of the elevator. Like, she's like, hi, Fletcher. He goes, holy hell!
I don't know, but every time Jim says holy hell, it cracks me up. We'll get more on that.
Because he yells it in such a powerful tone. And then he gets in his car, starts zooming out of there. He cuts somebody off. They goes, what's your problem, jerk off? He goes, I'm an inconsiderate prick. He gets stopped by a cop. Like, you know how fast you know why I pulled you over? Depends on how long you were following me. And then
why don't we just start from the top?
Yeah, and then he goes into that whole thing, which I can never memorize that whole thing, but I know it ends with speeding. Anything else? No. I have unpaid parking tickets. Like a bunch of them just come out of his glove compartment. Be gentle. So they go to get his car into the impound lot, and he and Audrey are starting to talk about like what he's doing is affecting Max. And I actually love this moment where he has this like little bit of realization. He's like, now listen to me. I'm a bad father. I mean, I'm a bad father. And he realizes he's like been shitty. And he's trying to like make amends. And like he goes to Max with a cake, and he tells him his wish came true, and he tells him he needs to unwish it. He's like,
So you can't lie? Nope. It's like, prove it. Ask me anything. Is wrestling real? In the Olympics, yes. On Channel 23, no. If I make a face like this, will it get stuck that way? Nope.
In fact, some people make a good living that way.
Referencing him and maybe Robin.
Yeah. And he tries to
If
get
I
Max
sneak
to...
goes to the TV while I go blind, not in a million years.
Yeah. He tries to get Max to unwish the wish. He's like, okay, now for a little test. He walks up to a woman, says something, but we don't hear it. But she responds by slapping him in the face. And he's like, did it work? I don't think so. Did you unwish it? Yeah, but what? Well, last night when I wished it, I meant it. This time I only did it because you told me. Okay, well, this time do it and mean it. I don't want to. Why not? Because I don't want you to lie. Max, I told you, everybody has to lie. I lie, your mom lies, even Jerry lies. But you're the only one that makes me feel bad.
Ooh.
I swear that kid's sad faces will rip your freaking heart out, man.
Dude, any sad faces rip my heart out. I love kids. I work with kids.
And so now he has no choice but to get through the day somehow and try to make it up to him by being there after school for Max. And maybe talk to Audrey about all this. And he even tries to prove this to his secretary, Greta, that I can't lie. Didn't it seem weird to you that I was telling the truth all day? Like, I like how ironically she doesn't even believe him. And he's like, all right, ask me something I would lie about. And she's like, or remember last month when I asked you for a raise? Forget it. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, and then she's like basically threatening to quit.
Yeah. Well, she straight up quits after he tells her the truth, and she's packing up
I
all
know,
her stuff.
But then, oh yeah, this picture frame you got it from Tiffany's. Tiffany's.
I'll give you the raise. Here's your raise. She flips him off.
No, wait.
I'm on my knees in a $900 suit. And she explains how this robber robbed her friend and fell on some glass and sued her friend, and he won. It's like, my friend had to pay the robber $6,000. Is that justice? No.
Of course not. I got him 10.
And she freaking leaves. And then what's her name? His partner friend comes and sets him up. He's like, we have a so and so joining us in the court today. Tell me, what do you think of him? He's a pompous, pretentious bastard, a miserable cow to work with, steaming pile of cow dung, figuratively speaking.
Figuratively speaking.
And he walks into a room with a bunch of other people, and that guy he was just talking about, and she asks him, well, what do you think of him? And he can't lie, so he just repeats everything he just said.
And it backfires on the bitch because everyone's laughing his ass off.
Yeah, that guy's like, that was so funny, Reed. I love a good roast. Do Simmons. Simmons is old. He should have been out of the game years ago, but he can't stand his wife. You've met her at the Christmas parties. She's the one who gets plastered and calls him a retard. He starts going off on everyone in that room. I love how he points at his partner friend. He's like, "No, slut!
Slut!
I'll see you later, dickhead!" And then it's the scene goes to he's in court and he has to get through this case somehow. And I love the judge is like, are we all ready to begin? No, Your Honor, we're not ready to begin because my client has not yet arrived. And as if on cue, comes right through the door. He goes, here she comes to wreck the day.
Mr. Reed.
Sorry, Your Honor. And they're trying like hell to get through all this. And I love the bit when the opposite lawyer starts playing the tape of her with that one of her visitors. And they're, making whoopee. Jim goes, oh, come on! Your Honor, how can it be proven that the man on that tape is not Mr. Cole himself? And then she on the tape goes, you're such a better lover than my husband. Oh my gosh. It's so funny. And he's drinking water this whole time. Like, okay, so Mr. Reed, your case, like he stands up, tries to think about what he's gonna say, and then he goes, Your Honor, would the court be willing to grant me a short bathroom break? Can't wait. Yes, you can. But I heard that if you hold it, you can damage the prostate, making it very difficult to get an erection or even become aroused. Is that true? It has to be.
Has to be.
Yeah, because he said it. So he's in the bathroom like, well, how am I going to get out of this? Think. Bangs his head against the wall. Owie! Owie! And then he literally starts beating the crap out of himself. in every way possible. He even puts soap in his eyes, smashes his head between the seat and the toilet. This guy walks in, sees him doing all this crap to himself. He's like, "What the hell are you doing?" "I'm kicking my ass. Do you mind?" He tries to make it out like somebody else did this to him. He's like, "Who did this to you?" "A madman, Your Honor. A poor soul at the end of his pitiful rope." "What did he look like?" 6'2", brown hair, big teeth, kind of gangly.
Which I guess is the truth.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, technically it's the truth. And the judge says, "In light of this, I might have to postpone this court. Unless, Mr. Reed, you feel like you can continue." He was so close. And he's like, "Yes, I can." Because he can't lie. And so later on, he takes a break. Max calls him. He says that he's invited friends to come play catch with him. He's like, "Yeah, don't worry, buddy. I'll be over there later today." And he's like, "You're going to be Jose Canseco?" "Of course I am." It's so... I love Max. Max is such a nice kid. I like him.
Yeah.
And later on, he's like, he's in court talking to that one guy. He's like, "Is your relationship with my client entirely platonic?" "Not! It's not your relationship with my client, boy! Bad baby, bad baby!" He's just going off on this guy. He's like, "He's badgering the witness. It's his own witness."
His witness.
And of course, nothing's working. And his client's getting pissed off. He's like, "I want my money. I'm not going to be a 31-year-old divorcee just because my attorney got hang on a second. I'm going way too fast. Just because my attorney had a weird act of conscience." He's like, 31? And he realizes his way out of it. He's like, "Your Honor, I called my own client to the stand." And basically, he reveals that she lied about her age to make herself older so she could get married, which means the prenuptial agreement is void because she was a minor when she got married. And so the judge rules in favor of her instead of the husband. And they originally had agreed to joint custody, but she says no. And like, "You just won $11 million. Like, hey, you're the one that told me I'm the victim here." Like, "But you said he was a good father." So, and then, Fletcher starts to see what he did. He's pretty much ripped, dadgum. Hang on a second. Ugh. He's ripped a father from his kids. Basically doing what could have happened to him or might happen to him. Hey.
Yeah. Oof.
Sorry, can you talk for a second? I need to catch my breath.
Okay. So at that point, he wins the case, but that kind of is a hollow victory because, well, Jennifer Tilly's a bitch of a mom. Oh, those poor kids.
Yeah. Jim Fletcher tries to talk to the judge. He's basically telling him, "I manipulated the system" and all that. And the judge starts getting pissed off at him. And they start going off at each other. The judge says, "One more word out of you and I'll hold you in contempt." He goes, "I hold myself in contempt." And the bailiff starts dragging him away. "I have a date to play ball with my son. I'm Jose Canseco. I'm Jose Canseco." And, Audrey starts packing everything up. He's like, "I'm taking Max away so you can't do this to him anymore." By complete miracle, Greta bails him out. "Am I too early? Have you been sexually molested yet? Because I can circle a block." I love her. That actress got to work with Jim Carrey and Robin Williams. I envy that woman. And so Fletcher rushes as fast as he can to the airport to try to catch Max before he leaves. And he's on the plane. He gets on one of those dollies they use to, I guess work on planes, I suppose. But
Yeah.
He's on it, riding it as the plane's getting ready to take off. He manages to halt the plane, but he also crashes into a luggage carrier, like throwing himself around. At least he lands on the bags.
Yeah, and then he just goes, ah!
And later on, he meets up with
Good
Max.
news. Both my legs are broken, so they're not going to take me directly to jail.
And he basically tells Max that he doesn't want him to go, and basically tells him that things will be different now. I won't lie to you anymore. And it's a sweet little thing where all is well that ends well. And then I love how it cuts to 1 year later, and it's his birthday again, and he makes a wish. It goes dark. Mom, Dad? He turns on the light, and Fletcher and Audrey are kissing. He's like, Max, did you wish for your mommy and me to get back together? No, I wish for rollerblades. You made an interesting observation about the wife that you said she reminded you of.
Jennifer Aniston? Yeah,
Yeah.
she does.
Yeah, I can see. She even kind of sounded like Jennifer Aniston a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. And then the movie ends with the freaking bloopers. It was so funny. My favorite one's a goose.
I don't know what my favorite one is. They're all pretty fucking funny.
I think your favorite one's the end one, the overactor jazz pal.
Oh yeah, that. I think I like that one. The reason I like that one so much is just because, like, it was random. It was just something stupid. Like it was like
It caught Jim off guard. That's the thing.
yeah. Also, I just love that they hugged it. They hugged it out.
Yeah, there's like a real genuine moment. She's like, he put me up to it. Tom Shannon.
Oh yeah, sure he did.
He did.
Oh
He's
no,
like, they're on to me. Oh man, it was a good movie.
Very good movie.
What do you, I think I know the answer to this question, but what would you rate it, Noah?
I
I
can.
knew that was coming. I freaking knew you were gonna do that. I agree. 10 out of 10. It was a really good movie. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I don't know. Best movie. Best movie. Well, we'll see you next time on Chicken Bros.